I was in a lose-lose situation. Now, what came out still on top.
With Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
It was a situation that he put me in to, make me lose. But he thought.
You talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 21 at the time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time,
compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about and what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them. And sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have.
From being one of the greatest boxers to ever step into the ring, Floyd Mayweather has now become a spectacle of mockery in the world of boxing after the scam allegations that were levied against him. And now, even the most unexpected boxing fighter is trolling Floyd Mayweather for his crimes.
Nobody would do business with you if you act like this.
But it happens a lot in boxing, though, right?
Oh yeah, because
it seems to be common in boxing. Yeah.
Floyd was telling him all these things.
Floyd's given this counsel to Gervonta.
Who do you think is telling him to do the rehydration clauses and not, putting all these stipulations on me? You can't do this, you can't do that. The ring needs to be this size. It's Davis Garcia. It's not, but all these things were all by Floyd.
Deliverables dates.
Wow, no, they call him Money Mayweather.
Bro,
where's your money?
He's walking around in women's Fendi clothing, taking, no disrespect. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. But I have a rule.
Recent weeks have been turbulent for Floyd Mayweather, who has had his home raided, his accounts blocked, some documents seized, and his mobility has been overly monitored. Amidst all of these controversies, the boxing world that seemed to be his only safe place has now become his court of judgment. On finding out the numerous crimes Floyd Mayweather was guilty of, both active and retired boxers were out on air about what they really felt about the 50-0 boxing legend. In fact, at some point in his career, it was often said that many paid to watch Mayweather fight because they wanted to see him lose.
Compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about and what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them. And sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have.
Well, if they don't see him lose in the boxing ring, they can see him lose in life. Being no fan of Floyd Mayweather's way of life, Iron Mike Tyson blasted him, not for bankruptcy, as Tyson himself has been bankrupt before, but for scamming organizations, defrauding individuals, and manipulating tax figures. Despite Floyd Mayweather denying those allegations on several occasions with the ample evidence provided, Mike Tyson feels Floyd is so retarded to even deny those allegations. The evidence found in his homes after the home raid are worthy of a straight ticket to prison. But for the sake of his legendary or celebrity status, it's been requested that more investigations be carried out.
But nobody needs to know too that there's only one step from the limo to the club.
Iron Mike Tyson does not really have issues with them seeking confirmations. What disgusted him, as he spoke in an interview, were the denials Floyd was putting forward. Floyd Mayweather is a delusional fellow. He's confused and retarded. How do you deny financial crimes that have paper evidence and other proof? How do you fight tax officials when they prove that you have always presented fake tax documents? Using himself as an example, he trolled Floyd Mayweather for being a coward and for not owning up to his mistakes.
How do you feel about Floyd, though? How do you feel about Floyd?
Awesome fighter, great fighter. He's a little too into himself. He should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God.
I've committed way more crimes than you. The only ones I denied were the ones I never committed. But with the others, I carried my cross without lies. So why do you keep lying, Floyd? Mike Tyson has never been a fan of Floyd Mayweather ever since he disrespected Muhammad Ali, and watching him decline after his impressive boxing career isn't so weird to Mike Tyson, who would have wished such for him in the first place. The former undisputed world heavyweight champion is now the latest boxing professional to talk about Floyd Mayweather's case.
You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair.
Perhaps Mike Tyson remains one of the best and most famous, but criticism from boxers who don't rank any close to Floyd Mayweather has also been mounting, as Mayweather faces scrutiny for lavish spending amid financial concerns. Amir Khan recently called out retired boxing champion Floyd Mayweather amid swirling rumors about the latter's financial troubles. Amir Khan was meant to fight Floyd Mayweather many years ago, but Floyd manipulated his way out of the fight because Amir Khan was too demanding on his side of the contract, a situation Floyd is used to being manipulative about. The former champion has faced criticism not only for his financial decisions, but also for his controversial political stances, which seems so disconnected from the affiliation his epic boxing career leaves us with.
I mean, just where you touched upon the Floyd Mayweather Jr. situation, I don't know how much you spoke about this since you retired, but how close was that fight?
Really close. It was really close that we ended up getting contracts signed. So I ended up getting my side of the contract signed, which was sent by Floyd Mayweather promotion. And when he come to me, I ended up signing it. And then the worst thing worst thing I did was to make an announcement that I've signed the contract with Floyd Mayweather.
At the moment, Floyd Mayweather is currently in the spotlight for reportedly acquiring a 62-building apartment portfolio in one of the most famous places in the United States for almost $500,000. This purchase was made through his real estate investment firm, Veda Properties. However, these financial moves come at a time when rumors of Mayweather encountering financial difficulties have resurfaced, raising eyebrows among fans and analysts alike. In response to these rumors, Amir Khan did not hold back in his criticism of Mayweather. "It is sad. But look, karma's so crazy," Khan stated, reflecting on Mayweather's past behavior. He continued, "The thing is, look how arrogant he was. He is flaunting money. You can't throw money like that at people because out there is a lot of poverty around the world, and if he is flaunting and throwing money at strip clubs..." Khan's comments highlight the stark contrast between Mayweather's lavish lifestyle and the economic struggles faced by many.
The contract with Floyd Mayweather. You see, now I know how Floyd must have felt. He was an A-side then, and I know how it would felt if I was fighting someone and I'm the A-side and someone did that. You know, you find it disrespectful. So yeah, I was young then. I was a little bit, I got a little bit excited and said, you know what, I'm gonna announce it. Must have been about 24, 25. But look, it is what it is. That fight never happened, but it was a fight that, look, we have mutual respect for each other.
Furthermore, Khan took issue with Mayweather's political support, particularly regarding the ongoing conflict in Palestine. Secondly, with the war that's happening in Palestine and Gaza, look at him. He is picking Israel and he says, "I'm going to support the soldiers. Floyd wants money and you see how karma's so crazy." There are now reports about him being broke or losing money. "I've never really respected him with some of the things that he does," Khan added, showcasing his disapproval of Mayweather's choices both inside and outside the ring.
Look, I would never have got that fight regardless. I think in their head they didn't want to fight me. I was a bad style for Floyd Mayweather, especially after the Alexander fight. The whole world media, ESPN, you name it, everyone was talking about Amir Khan's next fight is going to be Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, obviously, with all the ego he had, he didn't want it. He just obviously wanted to show that he's the A-side all the time. He's the nice guy to pick who he wants. Then he went in and fought Maidana twice, even though he did a poll, and twice we won the poll.
Adding fuel to the fire, rapper Curtis 50 Cent Jackson also took to social media to poke fun at Mayweather's alleged financial woes. On his Instagram account, he posted, "Damn champ, they caught you capping, ha 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 ha. Time for another exhibition. LOL with 50 Cent action. Check out my channel." Jackson's jab further illustrates the public's perception of Mayweather's current situation as he faces scrutiny from both fans and former allies. While Mayweather has yet to respond to these allegations, the situation raises questions about his future in the sport and his financial stability. Despite his previous success and the wealth he accumulated during his career, the ongoing rumors suggest that the champ may be dealing with more than just his past glories.
Yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you're already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you...
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, you know, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
In a different corner of the boxing world, Gervonta Davis, a fighter who once enjoyed a close relationship with Mayweather, has also been making headlines and slandering Floyd Mayweather for all the wrong moves he made to find himself where he is. Boxing star Gervonta Tank Davis was once a protege of boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, but the two no longer speak, and he was one of the main witnesses of how Floyd Mayweather handled and mismanaged Mayweather Promotions. They had a very public fallout, which Davis moved on from and became a better fighter from, and an even bigger star, both in America and worldwide. Speaking on the Mr. J. Hill podcast, Davis opened up on what happened with Mayweather.
I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like 10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know? So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're sitting on the shelf. So I had to fight him.
Once you get around someone you look up to like Mayweather, you realize they're not who they portray themselves to be. It's a letdown, and it hurts. I just go my own way and do my own thing. With Floyd, there were situations where he put me in lose-lose scenarios, like my first world title fight against Jose Pedraza. I was 16, 21 years old, hadn't fought in 7 or 8 months, and wasn't making much money, maybe $10K a fight. They came back and told me I've got to fight him, that if I didn't fight him, I'd be shelved. I got evicted and had to sell my car. For sure, Floyd did that intentionally. I was letting other boxers know what was happening, giving them games so they wouldn't end up there. Now, when they say they want to fight me, it feels like betrayal. He added, I respect and appreciate him for what he did, but it was more like he gave me crumbs, like $10K or $15K to help my mom out of the hood. That's not enough. She'd be back in the hood in months, and I'd be asking for more. I learned people can put you in a position where you always need them, feeding you just enough to keep you coming back. When I was signed to the same management as Floyd, they started taking over my career.
So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted, I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game, letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this was happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me.
The WBA lightweight champion holds an impressive record of 30-0-1 and is gearing up for a rematch against Lamont Roach this summer. But no talk about Floyd Mayweather would find Gervonta Davis too busy. However, Davis's path has not been without its challenges. The relationship between him and Mayweather has soured over the years, leading to a series of public exchanges between the two. Davis has expressed a desire to lure Mayweather out of retirement for a potential fight, a move that would undoubtedly draw significant attention. As the boxing landscape continues to evolve, both Mayweather and Davis find themselves at pivotal moments in their careers. For Mayweather, the rumors of financial distress and public criticism may signal a need for reflection and a reevaluation of his priorities.
Betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after I guess, again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight, like why would he try to diminish your career?
Because at that time, I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to bring up mine. But it was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat.
Despite being placed in a state of desperation to make a statement in the ring, seeking to solidify his legacy, he further messed up the already complicated relationship with the man who once guided him to greatness. With the boxing world watching closely, both fighters have the opportunity to reshape their narratives. Mayweather, once the king of the ring, must navigate the challenges of his current situation, while Davis aims to establish himself as a champion in his own right, independent of his former mentor.
I've always been like, you know, I got taught, you know who taught me, honestly, was Al Mitchell.
Okay.
Al Mitchell taught me how to reef.
Yeah.
He used to sit us down. I was at the OEC. What's up, bad boy?
As the summer approaches, all eyes will be on Davis's rematch with Roach and any potential developments in Mayweather's life and freedom from his debt cases. Will the retired champion respond to the mounting pressure and criticism? Or will he remain silent as he continues to navigate the complexities of his post-boxing life? Only time will tell. Former two-weight world champion Tim Bradley weighed in on the ongoing allegations against Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather is a fraud, and I've always known that, he stated decisively when asked about his thoughts on the situation. Bradley emphasized the lack of financial intelligence in Floyd Mayweather's career, asserting,
"What's up, bad boys? Bad boys out there." Yeah, man, that was what we were called, bad boys. So, but yeah, he's the one that taught us. He used to sit us down, sparring sessions.
Floyd never lived like there was going to be any retirement from boxing. He always acted like he'd fight and earn forever. All he's facing now is as a result of his foolishness. Bradley's comments highlight the significant role Mayweather played in ruining his career. While the case is still being dragged in the court, the name and reputation of Floyd Mayweather have been dipped into the mud after all these allegations. The YouTuber turned boxer, Jake Paul, and his brother Logan Paul have come out and said that Floyd Mayweather is broke.
Yeah. So we're gonna sue Floyd Mayweather.
Yo, what's good with this? What's good with the conversation about this? Last night you were doing one of these. Are we saying that or what?
He hasn't sued him yet.
Oh, got it.
We're still talking. Got it. There's still conversations that are happening.
Well, he got sued. He got sued.
He's been sued multiple times.
For the same fight. Yo, something's going on, and there's one side.
Last week, his older brother Logan, 27, revealed that Jake, 25, had lost a huge amount of money after the crypto market took a huge hit. The conversation came about on an episode of Impulsive, when Logan used air quotes when referring to Jake's boxing career. Co-hosts George Janko and Mike Majlak then pointed out his success in the sport, along with the big paydays for each fight, before going ahead to talk on Floyd Mayweather. "It's going pretty well. He's won every fight he's done," says George before Mike says, "He made like $40 million last year."
He is the promotional arm of his fights. It's why, in part, he makes so much money, because whereas a normal promotional company will take 30%, he is that. And so oftentimes for his fights, before the tickets can go on sale to the public, or like right as they go on sale, he'll buy a whole wing, a whole section, and then he'll sell them at a higher price, marked up, so he can make,
like all the floor seat. He takes all of them.
All of them. 3, 4, 5x, and it's part of his business.
However, Logan corrected the pair and said, "It doesn't matter. He put it all in crypto and he's poor." Well, Rob Moore asked Jake on his podcast if Logan had received full payment for his Mayweather bout last year, and Jake was pretty straightforward in his answer. Jake replied, "Nah, Floyd Mayweather's broke. I've been saying it all the time. I think he probably spent it on the girls he pays to be around him."
Not getting paid. Now his investment allegedly is being rolled into Floyd's alleged fight with Manny Pacquiao. And so the investors being strung along on this thing, and eventually, like us, it's like, yo, we're simply not getting paid in full. Like we've been...
With all these allegations, it's hard to truly know who is truly broke and who isn't. Let's be honest though, I'm sure they're both still very well off. What we do know is that it's been more than 1 year since Logan fought Floyd in the multi-million-dollar fight, for which Mayweather was expected to earn £52 million and Logan was to earn £15 million. However, as captioned by Logan in an anniversary post on social media, he wrote, "1 year ago today, I fought Floyd Mayweather. He's hard to hit, but even harder to collect money from. Who should I fight next?"
For way too long now, and this guy finally filed a lawsuit against Floyd Mayweather. So that's the one that's actually active and pending. And then here we are.
There's another one pending too.
Another one?
Yeah.
For the cash deal?
Yeah.
The one, the Dubai cash deal?
Correct.
Dude,
Mayweather hit back at the YouTuber at the press conference of his next exhibition fight, in which he will take on Japanese mixed martial artist Mikuru Asakura. The 45-year-old said, "This is the guy who said he didn't get paid, which we know is truly false, which is why I don't entertain the nonsense a lot of the time. We know he got paid, and if he didn't get paid, he wouldn't be trying to get another payday. It is so crazy that Logan Paul wants to do an exhibition again, but it is the same guy that said he didn't get paid. It is what it is."
You know, I actually find nothing wrong with that. It's smart. And so with this particular lawsuit, he had an investor pay $1.4 million in total for this section, and the investor was promised that the seats would sell at I think a 7 to 8x multiple, and he expected a return on his investment. And sure enough, he didn't get his initial investment back. He's strung along. He gets like 100K here and there. Strung along.
Mayweather also told the Pivot podcast, "This comes with the territory." To them, that's real money, and I like the YouTubers. The money on the back end, though, from pay-per-view, that takes a while. Nothing comes right away. I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. They just hate when the table is turned. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life. Well, he's got the paydays, but he needs a bigger one to be out of this mess, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.